What up, yo? Welcome to another hot episode of POPradio. My name is Miss Cosmo, with you every single week right here on the YouTube. And of course, every week I bring you the hottest in entertainment. And today, definitely no different. But I don't have one person with me today. I do have two gentlemen joining me today. The boys in the hood. What it is? What's good, gentlemen? Ginger, Trill, and Touchline. How you doing?
We good. I know Trill's good too.
Happy to see you. Happy to see you both. I'm happy to see Ginger. I think I haven't seen him since before COVID.
Right, it's true.
Why was Vita?
It's true. No, it was going down COVID. So I wasn't even around the city. I was back home.
Really?
Yeah, I was back home.
Sometimes that's important, you know?
It really is.
To go home, rejuvenate, nyana.
You know, ground yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a bit of growth nyana happening when you were at home.
Forcefully.
I think it forced all of us to rethink our lives.
Because you had to stop, stand still. It was a time to be still. So, you had nothing to do. But obviously, you're thinking about what's going on in the world. And then those pockets where you have to look at yourself now. Like, what's going on with me?
Yeah.
Because we in the industry we're in, things slow down and eventually dry up. And it's like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But we're back and we're operating.
Nice. As long as we're moving, that's exactly what counts. But somebody who wasn't chilling during COVID.
Yeah.
Hey, Boppies.
I'm a busy man. I try to keep busy.
I
mean, Ginger would say no because I'm always like taking him to studio at like the oddest hours.
True.
But those are the most productive hours.
Definitely. Definitely. But yeah, man, there's always something to do, There's always a new, milestone to hit.
Yeah.
A new moment for you in your career. More things to do, more lives to touch. So you just like every day you just try to do the next thing.
Nice. All right. So before we get into the new duo and get in a little bit more information on the new duo, obviously you guys are individual rappers. So Ginger, because you're the person I haven't seen in a while, Lo Zolinda, you must, the elders must come first. For 2 minutes. So you've had, one of those careers where everyone can kind of sit back and be like, you've touched lives in certain ways, you've impacted certain people in certain times. I think if anybody kind of looks back to a moment when you've done, for instance, like Rookie of the Year, those type of moments, what was it that keeps or started fueling you to get into this rap game? Because it's not easy.
Yeah, I think just passion, passion and believing that something is actually meant for you, and purpose, after like just seeing how things sort of, when I think about it now in hindsight, when I think about how things just aligned for me to just keep doing this thing that I love doing so much, it's passion and just purpose. You start feeling like, man, this is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
So that's what took me down this path.
Yeah, man. And I think also when you come up into an industry like this, you're also kind of looking at different people and be like, okay, what else is everybody kind of doing? Yeah. How am I going to make an impact? How am I going to actually make a stand in this game? Who are those types of people that you are kind of looking at and be like, okay, I see homie, but I'm a one-up you on this one?
I don't know if like, for me, coming in like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I don't even think I was thinking like I got a one-up or whatever. I was just like, yo, if I can reach these heights, I know I kind of made it. It was like I was looking at the likes of Jabba, the likes of Cooley, what Tear Gas was doing, what PRO was doing at the time. I was looking at Dux's run, like what an incredible run. Like that guy, he just came in, that 2-album run was stupid.
Yeah.
Like those back-to-back albums, I was also kind of looking at, like Josie, because I really messed with like the angle they came in the game with, with that song with Bongani Fasi and Marks. I feel like it also moved the needle in like the sound of SA hip hop at the time. But those were the people I was looking at like, man, if I can be mentioned, if I could be moving like that there, then yeah, I'm inside.
Yeah, inside.
Yeah.
100%. I think also, with the people that you're mentioning, I mean, the Northwest was just making waves. And you obviously being from Poch, you're also sitting back like, how? I got to get my name in the game. You know what I mean? These guys need to recognize what I'm about as well.
Yeah.
So didn't you feel any pressure for you to kind of, be inside the Motswako thing and collaborate and do the whole, like, ride the Motswako wave the way that they did?
And at the time, it never even really crossed my mind. Like, I was so in my own head. And when I say it like that, it makes it sound like a bad thing. But I was just like, I was okay with being like authentic because I felt like I had something to offer that was unique and that was like, my own flavor, So I was okay with just doing it how I do it. Of course, like when I collab with like artists that are known to be Motswakolistas, then I would incorporate a lot of my language, a lot of like my hometown slang into it.
Yeah.
Like I have songs with Kuli, with Toady, those kind of vibes where I'd be like, okay, let me just rap for my section on these type of songs. But for the most part, I've never really felt the pressure.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's not pressure, or maybe you also just like, I need to stand on my own. People need to see me for me. Like, these guys can boy band it out, but me, I'm doing this thing by myself.
It was more like I know myself and I know my strengths, and I want to play into my strengths more than thinking about what everybody else is doing. A wise man I know, we were closer back then, he'd say to me, man, when you're stepping into the ring, don't fall for what the opponent is doing, forcing you to go unorthodox when you're actually a southpaw guy. So that was always my mindset, because we were woke, we were aware of it much earlier on to when we were trying to launch me as a brand and as an artist. And those chats were had, but then we were like, yeah, but you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
Stick to what you do.
I see.
It's authentically you.
Yeah. And everybody's got to kind of shine on their own wave. You know what I mean? You can't necessarily force anything that you don't feel like can work for you.
Right.
Because when it's inorganic, you're just like, these guys are playing games.
Everybody can see. Everybody knows.
It's difficult, this thing. But of course, I mean, you made your wave. You came through to Joburg. People were paying attention. Made a lot of hot songs as well. But it seems, I don't know, maybe it's my account, I don't know, but some of your songs pre-2018 seem to be missing on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
What's the situation there? Because I'm sure your diehard fans are just like, how unfair too?
I mean, sometimes it's label politics, You fall out with the people that you are in bed with, as it so happens, and you guys just can't come to an agreement or like, find middle ground. And 2017, that's when I noticed that, you know what, this is gonna be a hard battle to fight. So I'm gonna just start creating from this perspective, from this point onwards going forward. I'm gonna make sure that I never miss a step in that regard. It was a hard lesson to learn, but that's the school fees I paid.
Hey, school fees in the school of rap. The school of rap. But you know what? We learn from these things. We live and we learn. We grow a little bit more. We take whatever lessons that we need to take from it. But obviously, you're growing as a person. You're growing as an adult in South Africa. You are a father now. I saw you were celebrating your son's birthday as well.
Yeah, I was.
So what are some of the lessons that you've kind of learned for yourself in this industry that you might want to impart to your son?
I guess vigilance. I was actually having a chat with my bros the other day in studio. I'm not gonna say the other bro's name. Don't say the other bro's name.
Why?
Because it's top secret until we finish. Nah, you guys gonna have to wait. We'll be back for another interview. But yeah, we were talking. We were having deep chats.
You're gonna have to have 3 mics.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to have 3 mics.
Oh man.
So we were talking about how, with us, the passion for this thing, we weren't really, for the earlier parts of our career, we weren't really like very discerning with what we were doing with the business end, because we would create the music out of passion and out of love for firstly the music you're creating, and firstly these people that you see around you that you so badly want to work with because you respect their craft, right? And then the business end of it gets left for later. Ning ning, how do I check a khatla too? Things are going that way, you know? So we were talking about how going forward, it's very important to get the business out of the way. At the end of the day, it's the music business.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing maybe like I'd impart onto my son. Like if you love something and if you love doing something, but you have to make a living off it, you must always remember that there's business attached to it. So if the business isn't right from the jump, and if you can't get it right, maybe there's a reason why you can't get it right. Because, you know, like, you know, like, hey, mara, we've been screwed over. You know what I mean? Like, because so that's one thing I teach the young man, that look, if you're going to be doing something you love for a living, remember, you have to do it for a living. Yeah. So the education and the business end of it comes actually at the beginning first, and then you take it from there.
It's difficult, this entertainment thing.
It's tough.
Are you ready, my brother?
I'm in here, man. I'm moving bass. I'm in here.
You are deep inside. You've got your feet so deep inside right now. But I'm appreciating, you know, the angle that you've kind of taken for yourself. You're arriving and you're saying to people they need to pay attention, you know. And shout outs to you for also kind of, you know, holding your ground with regards to that. But I think a lot of people on entry of listening to you as a rapper, there's always this, what do you call it? Association, no, not necessarily association, where the comparison.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You coming in, I think a lot of people hearing you and they were like, the cadence, it reminds me of Pro, is this, that, whatever. Coming in, everybody wants to make their own mark. Yeah. But then you are compared to somebody as great as Pro.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good or a bad thing for you?
Definitely a good thing.
Mm-hmm. How does it work for you?
If you compared with anybody like Pro, that's a big compliment. That's the first thing, you know. And you have to have a certain level of skill for them to say that, because he was probably one of the most skilled, you know. And I'm just being objective when I say one of, because if I'm gonna be subjective, I'm gonna say he was dusting everybody. You know what I'm saying? But for the sake of respecting everybody else who was also highly skilled, you know, he was probably one. He was top 2, you know. So I definitely recognize Luti. Those many hours, many years that I spent listening to PRO and really copying him and trying to be like him in my formative years as a rapper. It actually sharpened me so much in terms of what I was able to do from a rap perspective. And I think that's where the comparisons came from. I mean, the craziest thing about the comparisons is that they don't only come from the fans, but they came from like people that worked with Pro very closely, people that discovered Pro, you know, Salvin, Amu, you know, Gigi was mentored by Pro, and she was like, you actually embody the spirit of Pro. And I didn't understand it at first. Yeah, boy. I felt like, hey, Buffy, it's yo.
Yeah, that's exactly, you know, what I'm thinking. Because as an artist, like I say, you want to make your own mark. It's good to be compared, to be like, hey, yo, you remind me. Okay, shout outs. Yeah. But can I be me now? I can't walk into every room and be the face of ProKid because now he's no longer with us.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. You know, but I think it was just eventually it wasn't about my rap style anymore, because I've changed so many times. You know, I've evolved even in the way I tell my stories. You know, I don't even rap in vernac all the time, you know. But you know, I mean, even City Lights, you know, R.I.P. was like, if my brother was still alive, you'd be his favorite person, you know. And I don't think it's only because of like the raps. I think there's so many similarities that they saw maybe in our demeanors and maybe the way we handle certain things or the way we say certain things. But also it makes sense because I spent so much of my time studying him, right? Trying to be him, that I guess eventually I started shaping myself as a human being to be like Pro, because he was all I ever followed, you know. But we come from two different places. We come from, I mean, we grew up differently. Eventually our lives took a different we were never the same people. I never really met him as Touchline. I met him as a fan 3 times, but never as the rapper. So for me, it's not even pressure. It's not even something that I feel. When I write, it's not even a thing that exists in my head. The ProKid thing doesn't exist in my head. I just write from like on a clean slate, nyapala. And it's all natural for me, but I think I understood it. Mangsangene came in when people were really compared me, Pro, and it was all because at first I was like him. I wanted to be like him, so I tried to do everything like him. That's the main reason. I think people are waking up to the fact that Lentwale is his own guy. He's going through heartbreak. He's rapping more about heartbreak than anything right now. Pro never used to rap about heartbreak. So like it's like
Cholo.
You know what I'm saying. I'm going through my own things in life, and I'm painting my own life's picture right now. So angicabanga ukuthi into abantu abasayibheke kangaka like they did 3 or 4 years ago.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that, sometimes, yes, people can check the comparison, but then now you're kind of growing into yourself, because sometimes that can be a bit of a trap, where you'll be stuck in it for a little bit too long. You can't get out of it. Yeah. And being in somebody's shadow is just very difficult. But I really appreciate the fact that you've also kind of, paved your own way, kind of said, I'm representing my people, I'm doing my own thing. But coming up outside of Pro, were there any other kind of rappers, maybe even in the States or even South Africa, that you were looking at to be like, yo, a rap style like that, it will always be Pro, but then there's other things that get involved. I mean, I see you, Mr. Fishin, Gadi Bling, what, So there's those influences that also kind of come in to shape who you are. Who else were you kind of looking at?
I think even before Pro, there was Kanye and there was Eminem. Yeah, those were the 2 guys. I enjoyed Eminem's raps. I enjoyed Kanye's music so much. When he was chopping up the samples, Through the Wire. Through the Wire was pretty much the reason I got into rap, And I didn't know that because it was years before I started listening to PRO and really deciding then ukuthi ngizoqala ukubhala. But Through the Wire made me such a fan, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing at the time. So Kanye West, Eminem, a little bit of The Game, when he was with 50 not so much, but I liked The Game. But those would be the main guys. And then the older you get, you start catching on to like a Lil Wayne, a Drake eventually, a J. Cole eventually. Those are the guys that I really liked. But from here, it was definitely Pro, and it was also Tear Gas.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah,
okay.
It was Tear Gas. So there's only a few albums that I've ever owned. It was the Eminem Show, cassette.
Cassette.
Yeah. Yes, I was there.
You're like fooling everybody right now.
I was there as a lighty with the cassette. Pencil, rewinding. Yes, sir.
You see the soccer age is showing right now.
And then it was also Snakes and Ladders by Pro, nice. Continua by Pro, and then it was Number by Tear Gas. So those are the only 4 that I've ever bought in my life. So I would only ever do that if I was that much of a fan. And yeah, I like Tear Gas, man. I really love Tear Gas.
That's so dope. And I think also it's mind-boggling for even just the both of you. I mean, like, you are coming from a position where you growing up in the hood, you're listening to these people's music, and now you're engaging them and you're working with them, and you're getting into the game with them, and they're appreciating your talent over and above how you were also marveling at them, and like a fan, like the fact that you could own those cassettes and CDs means that you put your hard-earned money into actually buying into what they were giving you. How has that changed the way that you look at things for yourself? Because now what you were idolizing is now your reality.
Yeah. So how does it change my perception of myself or
yourself and the way that you operate now in the industry?
I think when I started realizing, I remember saying to Trill, I was like, yo, Mfana, so do people listen to us the way we listen to
Yeah,
You know?
I
I was asking him, I was like, so is that what's happening, bro? Like, do you think there's a kid out there who's like really thinking about Touchline and wanting to be Touchline the way I was thinking about Pro? You know?
And writing down your lyrics and
Yes,
reciting them
and
word
all
for
those
word.
things. And Trill was like, hell yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And I was in the stew with Trill and the other guy that can't be mentioned. And
This is so boring.
and we were just talking about like how I started seeing myself as a leader, and ever since that point, things started changing in terms of how I interact with people. You know, at first I just saw myself as a talented guy, but the moment I saw myself as a leader, as a person that can really take charge of a team and really help shape the futures of the people around me, I started moving in a certain way. You know, things like doing the merge, operating from like a business point of view also, because you understand that you got so many mouths to feed within your own circle. You know, it made me move with more confidence, the ability to lift an upcoming rapper and say, yo, pull up. You know what I'm saying? Go on tour with me, or come to this interview with me, or come and do this and this and this. It gave me the confidence to reach out. And then eventually it gave me the confidence to stand next to a Ginger Trill who's like, you know, who's seasoned, who's a seasoned professional, and be like, yo, me and you, we were about to run this thing. But if I didn't have that confidence from being a leader in my own right, I wouldn't have had the confidence to stand next to a person like Ginger Trill. So it made me look at myself in a very different way. And now that I'm interacting with the guys, for me, it's just like, I'm just studying, you know? I'm just learning. I'm just like, I'm observing. I listen to the things they say. I listen to their perspective on the game. And I try to like, not make mistakes that my idols have made, but I also try to do things that my idols haven't done. You know, things that I think, if I was that guy, I would have done it like this. I actually go and try and I do it, you know? But I'm still pretty much new in the game. I still have a long way to go and a lot of, you know, shaping and shifting to do. So I'm really excited about that. I think in the next 5 years, I would have really achieved like so much and really created not only music but other things in SA hip hop and in business, you know, that are just gonna leave a mark and say, okay, this guy actually did something. So it's not only about the music for me.
Yeah, I dig that. I think it's important, I think, for all artists to also kind of look outside of just the passion, as you were mentioning, because if it's this thing's gonna feed you, you need to figure out how it's gonna keep feeding you even when it's not your season, because everybody has their season. Everybody has their hit song, and maybe you release a song at the same time as somebody else who's got a better song than you.
Facts.
You need to figure out how you're gonna work around that. You know what I mean? How important is it for you to engage with your fans? I think I remember I saw you were engaging with a fan of yours when you were in Durban, kind of included them in like a video. I don't know if there was like a story or what was it?
Big Zach, yeah.
So obviously from going from fan to star, because you were also a fan before, how important is it for you to kind of engage and involve your fans in your music journey?
Yo, it's even more important than the music itself. You know, if an artist is unreachable or can't be touched by his fans, then just being a hit maker is just not enough. It's not gonna make you immortal. People need to connect with the human being most importantly. You know, your music can live in certain households, but people need to feel like you're a part of their homes. Yeah. You know? So that's the most, I think for me it comes naturally because, you know, I'm very easy to get along with. I like meeting new people, so I don't really have a problem. But I do think, Uti, it's something that artists need to look more into, you know, especially social media, you know. It's not really an inconvenience to be able to reply to a fan, you know, because they don't have access to you like that. They're not going to come knock on your door and say, yo, so. So I try to, Uti, even when I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to just try interact with people.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is the most important one. Yeah, you know,
Uyazi
can never
veza,
sleep with that one.
Touchline.
I can never let go of Facebook.
Really?
Ever. Yeah.
You give it time, ne? But that's where the real people are, though.
That's where the most people are. Number one. You know, because that's the demographic of Mzansi. Demographic of Mzansi is not Instagram and Twitter. It's Facebook. You know, my mom my mom is more likely to have a Facebook account than she is to have an Insta and a Twitter account. You know?
Really?
Yeah. Obviously, they just have WhatsApp, blah, 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 but like, you know, I mean, they probably just know Facebook and WhatsApp to be like social media platforms. So abantu abaningi esilalini, you know, emalokishini, a lot of the people, even the young kids, you'd be shocked. Even a 12-year-old, 13-year-old is on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's true. Marakadi has Facebook, and she's like from the 1950s.
Really?
Nazog.
My mom's bougie. She's the only one on Twitter and Instagram.
IG.
She's not on Facebook.
Your mom's on IG.
She's on Instagram and Twitter. She's not on Facebook.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When she sends me links, they're from Twitter and from Instagram.
And TikTok now, ne?
I think I want to block her on Instagram, but don't tell her till then.
Yeah, you must.
TikTok, ne?
I saw
She's
some
on TikTok,
stories.
right?
No, she's not on TikTok yet, but she's gonna figure it out.
I caught you on a story one time. I was like, nah, actually, you're right. She shouldn't see this.
I went. Anyway, let's get back to why we're here. All right, so the two of you are maybe the most unlikely pair.
Right.
And I say that particularly because as a fan, because outside of being a DJ, I'm a music fan. You guys sit on different sides of this rap South African game. And not to say that you guys won't collaborate, I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Right.
So what brought you guys together?
Damn, man, am I the spokesperson? What's going on?
Okay, I got it.
I definitely looked at you.
See the
So it's funny, like we agree that maybe we are the most unlikely pair in the beginning. That's how it's, but we're so alike. It's crazy.
Really?
We are so alike. We were brought together by a mutual friend, DJ Clen. He's
I know Clen. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like the Revenge Club boys were doing a compilation tape. They had everybody on it. They had you know, new guys, young guys, unknown guys, like the K Revs. They had El Tito, Mugs, P Dot, and everybody was just pair ups. And then they paired me and him on a song together. We actually hung out before at Capital Studio Sessions, maybe once or twice, just workshopping some songs. So we'd gotten to actually just like break the ice. And then after the Clan thing, we started breaking like the bread now. And then the song eventually dropped and the streets were crying for one more song. They're like, nah, give us more. And he was like, you never dare touch. Don't dare touch. Never ever dare touch line. And then Touch like, yo, Mfetu, they want more. So you know what we got to do. Came to get me, went to studio. A day before we actually shot the video for Cleanse mixtape, we did another song. And we wanted to drop it by like Wednesday. Unforeseen circumstances, we could only drop it Friday. Yeah. Still record time. Drop it Friday. Streets went back. And we were like, maybe we're onto something.
Yeah.
That's when we started hanging out more, going to studio more, just getting to know each other, you know, building a bond, becoming friends, becoming brothers. I met his circle, you know what I mean? And just starting to move together. And it was just so easy and so organic. It made sense. Nothing was ever like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
And that's why it happened in like 3 months anyway.
Exactly.
You know, like it was a very quick process. We weren't even in studio for that long, but we were there many times. Yeah. You know, within a short space of time. And I think it's because it's comfortable with it. I've been comfortable with Trill. It wasn't really a problem. I never felt threatened. He never felt threatened. It always felt like, okay, you know?
Yo. No, I think we can hear it in the music. We can hear it in the camaraderie. It's organic. It sounds like you guys have been friends for like 10 years.
Right.
And these niggas made each other last year.
Yeah, you know?
You know? But it's dope because, you know, when energies kind of connect like that, it speaks volumes into the types of people that you are over and above the types of musicians that you are. And that you can come together and say, yo, I mean, we've definitely onto something. So let's run a tape and let's do the thing.
Yeah.
Concept behind the actual, okay, wait. Is it an EP, mixtape, album? Because you know when it's uploaded on Apple Music, everything looks like an album,
right?
So I need some clarity.
It's more like an EP, you know. Okay. I think when we started making it, the first thought was to make it like 5 songs. Until I was like, nah, let's go full force, you know. But it's more like an EP, you know. 9 songs apparently still qualifies to be an EP.
I think it's also because of the length of the
Yes,
project.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, so
Obviously, we all know. Well, if you're as old as Touchline, you know that the movie's mad old.
now here's the irony.
Here's the funny part.
Here's the funny part. I came up with the name,
Yeah.
but he had watched the movie and I hadn't.
Up until this week. Last week?
You
Up until
haven't
2 days
seen
ago.
Boys in the Hood.
Up until
2 days ago. That's everybody's reaction too. That's everybody's reaction.
That is a classic cult film, my
Yeah,
brother.
I know. But
And you don't name something after a classic film unless you've seen the product.
but Trill had watched it, so
No,
I knew.
it's got nothing to do with that. You are part of, you are on the hood of the car.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
But remember, as much as I am a musician, I'm a marketer, and
2 hours of your time, my brother, you're not gonna die.
I did it though.
Now, like 2
Yes.
days ago.
Because I think it only came on Netflix like very recently.
True.
Yeah,
That was
he
the
was trying
funny
to put me
part
on
too.
some piracy site. I was like, I don't pirate stuff.
My nigga, you were on cassettes. You know how to find a movie if you want to. Trust
Gosh.
me. I mean, come on. I'm waiting for the upload.
But yeah, I
you're
mean,
from Tembisa, please.
Aye, man, ishinto zomtsotsi siziyekile, man. Sesiyekile, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get
But,
back to it. Yeah.
So he had watched the film, I hadn't. And I was looking for a name. You know, I was like, I remember I was having sleepless nights
Yeah.
thinking about how are we gonna sell this product to the people, you know? We've got the music now, it's maybe like 7 songs in. Maybe Shotangama 2 at that time. And I'm like, how are we gonna sell this thing to the people? I didn't know. So for me, that's as important as making the music. You know, so as pedantic as I'd be making the music, that's how I'm gonna be about the marketing side of things, the rollout. How does it look? How does it feel? You know? So I was like, Trill, I sent him a text. I was like, Trill, what do you think about Boyz in the Hood? You know? And I know it's a movie, right? I was like, I know it's a movie, right? Boyz in the Hood. I think it will make sense. It's 2 boys that are from the hood. And I can already predict what the Boyz in the Hood movie is about. It's
Right.
boys in the hood, right?
Why did you allow
selling
this?
drugs, killing each other in the USA, in the hood. That's what it's about, right? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, there's brotherhood there, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, there's family there, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, then we've got the name of the tape
So Trill is to blame
for
for allowing you to get away with not watching this thing because you
Look,
just agreed.
To be honest, he tried putting me onto like a
tried.
piracy site.
I tried.
I
I
just
was
didn't
like,
have time. I was
buddy.
busy rolling. I was busy in studio. I'm rolling out this thing, and I'm like, there's no time to watch this thing. So what I do is I just Googled images, and I'm like, that's the kind of cars that were there in '91. Oh, that's how they looked. I was like, cool. Then we can set up a photo shoot. You don't have to. Yo, look, work smart, don't work hard. You
That's
get
his
me?
brother.
Okay, so you guys have decided now Boyz in the Hood is the concept. This is what you're kind of running with. But now sometimes when it comes to concepts like this, you know, now that you've seen the movie, you know, you've kind of graced us with your time. Thank you. Do you sit back and say, okay, do you guys pick up which character is which?
Yeah, definitely.
When you guys are running the tour, because I know you're on tour now. You can't have you can't take on a name like Boyz in the Hood and then not say I'm this character because
Yes.
this is how I feel like I portrayed myself in the E EP.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, he hit me up and he's like, Touch, you know who you are? Do you remember who he said I was?
Yes.
And now I can speak about it because now I know the movie.
Yes.
But you said that, you kind of said like, I was Ricky.
Yes.
Why did you say I was Ricky?
I said it's almost like it's between Ricky and Trey,
yes.
but I go for more like Ricky
yes.
because like you the guy who everybody in the circle knows we gotta protect that guy because if that guy makes it, we all make it.
Right.
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 That's what I
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
Ricky!
yeah. I remember you said that.
Yeah.
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 And yeah. But like Ricky dies in the movie.
In the movie.
So is that traumatizing you? What's happening now? Ngiyasaba manje, like,
Nah.
I'm finna be that guy.
Nah, I'm
though.
not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be that guy.
Okay. So
but-
who do you think you are? Because that's who Ginger thinks you are.
Right. I think he's very he hit it on the nail when he says between Ricky and Trey.
Yeah.
Because Trey was so like he was a smart guy. he was thoughtful, and he was just tired of everything that was happening in the hood. You know, you could tell that Ricky was also trying to get out of the hood, but he was like also, as much as he was trying to get out, he was also comfortable with just being him in the hood. Trey was like, I refuse.
Sick.
I'm sick of this, you know? And he was also very, like I said, he was an intelligent guy. So when I looked at Trey and how Trey would consider everything before making decisions, like he's not gonna move shady or shaky. But it also made sense why they were best friends actually in the movie also, you know? But if I looked at it, I would actually say Trill is more of like a Trey too, you know? I would say Trill is like a Trey. I wouldn't know who else to say you are, because you're definitely not Doughboy.
I was about to say nobody's trying to claim it.
Nobody's trying to be Doughboy. And there's a lot of Doughboys that guys like there's a lot of Doughboys that I've been friends with, and I'm like, yo, now I'm like Doughboy. You know, I think my brother is a Doughboy.
Really?
Yeah, my older brother is pretty much a Doughboy. You know, it's not something that I'm proud of or that he should be proud of, but he's and that's why naturally when there's a Doughboy, there's gonna be the younger brother would be a Ricky who's like, I don't want to be like my older brother.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So you're gonna try to do the right things, make your mom happy, as opposed to like your older sibling who's just giving your mom grief and stuff like that. Yeah, bro? So yeah, I'd say you're pretty much a Trey, bro.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
That's dope. I like that. I like that. All right, so
but less stuck up.
Way less.
Yeah.
I'm loving the imagery. I'm loving the storytelling. Obviously, even listening to the EP, it's all kind of coming together. Why you guys put it together the way that you did. Can you break down the interlude just a little bit? MSG, obviously, it's just you on it.
Yeah.
And
my favorite song.
You're taking inserts from certain places.
Yeah.
But why particularly those inserts, and why did you structure it the way that you did?
So on this one, I literally let the music lead me because I fell in love with that beat. Shout out to Cypher Beats. He gave me that beat, and we were at that point in the project where we were like, okay, now we have to like give them the individuality of the duo. He's gonna have an individual song. I'm gonna have an individual song. Cypher played me a couple beats. I like that one. I took it home. I lived with it maybe like a week. And what I liked about it is that it changed moods. It went from playing like this, and then this breakdown part sounded like this.
Yeah.
And then I refurbished my memory. I watched the movie, a little bit. And then I remembered actually my favorite scenes. And I was like, actually, so when it seeped into my mind, I was like, I'm going to use the first bit to say something, to have like some sort of message. That's why I took those clips only after I recorded and wrote the verse. It's like, I'm going to have something that has a message. And then this breakdown part, it sounded like something for the ladies, right? But then I was like, I'm going to make it somber. And I'm going to take this clip from the movie, being about relationships and just being about being heartbroken, because that's the breakdown. And that's why it's not just a song, it's an interlude, because it's two worlds and I put them into one song, one very short song, because I wanted you to feel these things and to see these things and to incorporate these images or these visuals from the movie.
That's amazing. Yeah.
My mind, I just had to give you my mind quickly.
Seasoned rapper. Not this pause 24/7. Seasoned musician. Okay? Understanding what needs to be packaged together. All right, so putting the EP together obviously means you work on some songs make it, some songs don't make it. Were there any features that didn't make it?
Yes.
Yes. But
you can tell us, because it's not a secret. I mean, the album's out now. I mean, they know they're not on.
And it's not like that. It's not spicy like
it's
that
not
or whatever.
spicy. It really is just about, it didn't work for the project. We'll work on another one.
It was time. It was literally time.
Really?
We wanted to feature so many people. We were with Tattoo Soul earlier. We realized, hey, time. We wanted X on the project. We were like, time. We were speaking with Phantom. I don't know if you were with me. I was speaking with Phantom Steez. That was the song that we really wanted on the project. We had like this demo with Phantom Steez.
And you can hear the kind of artists that we're talking about. They're very different.
Yeah.
From like to each other too. So we didn't look at Boyz in the Hood and think, oh, the two best rappers about to go hit to hit. Da, 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 da. That's not how we looked at it. It was really a collaborative project. It was really about fusing not as many sounds as we could, but as many energies as we could. But I think it came out the way it had to come out for our first project. That's a collaborative project between these two type of artists, you know. So yeah, there were a few, man. There was even like I remember when I was doing the movie again, Hook.
Yeah,
it was the day before I went to Swaziland, and in the studio there was Maniac, right? And he's chilling there, and I'm doing the hook, and I've never really chilled with Maniac, you know, like, but he was in the studio. Yeah, he was in the studio with Cypher, obviously, and I'm just recording the hook. But as I'm recording the hook, he's writing a verse in his head,
right?
And I want to be like, yo, man, it's for me and Trill.
Hey, relax.
Right?
Save your breath.
You know what I'm saying? I want to say this is for me and Trill, man. You know? Yo, but what Maniac did on, like, when he went on, that guy is talented. Like,
super, immensely talented.
He's so talented. It's crazy. Like, the things that I started hearing, it's like a Maniac where he's rapping, bro. Not where he's, like, singing, where he's rapping. I was like, hey, this guy is dope, you know? So... yeah, he was the first person on Movie Again. He did a whole like singing thing, which was like flawless. But because it needed to take shape the way we needed the song to take shape, we needed to get Senzo on. You know, we need to get Cuesta on, and Landros had also come and added a verse. We had to strip those two verses, put Cuesta on it. And I had to explain to my chance, yo, for what we were trying to do right now, for this song to come out right now, and what we're trying to do, we just have to get Senzo to give us the 16, which was impeccable. And I spoke to the gents, you know, and yeah, we good. We understand why it happened, you know. But their verses were like fire.
They actually might need to drop one of these days, but yeah, that's a story.
We need to drop those verses. But
clearly,
that Maniac verse was like crazy.
Boyz in the Hood 2 on the way. You didn't hear it from me. You didn't hear it from me, but just say there's an exclusive.
Exactly.
I'm kidding.
Exactly.
I'm kidding. All right, so you guys are busy with a club tour at the moment. You are running the streets of Johannesburg. Are you possibly going to take it to the rest of the country? What's the plan with the tour? Where can people actually catch you and see you on stage?
Yeah, so we just did the artistry last week, Saturday. One of the best nights, I think, for me and Trill.
Yeah.
You know?
The official launch.
Yeah, sold out tickets. People came to come watch us, you know. The merch sold out.
Yep, matter of minutes.
In the matter of minutes, you know, and that's the power of having your own fan base, and that was so great that we could do that. But we had started this thing, tour. We started it with like my birthday celebration where I brought Aries to Chilvisa with J Jody, Clen, and then we took it to Eratanda, and that's pretty much with the Avengers, man. It's me, Trill, Kid X, Muggs, J Jody. That's the tour, basically, you know. So for this one, it's the gents, and then we added Black Les, and the next one, and Sia Shezi too. And the next one, we're gonna have the gents and add a few more guys, because this is about collaboration. This whole thing is about collaboration.
What about Mandy ZA? She's on the EP, but I'm not hearing her in the.
I mean, maybe because we haven't really
of the Avengers. I mean, we've got some female Avengers.
No, of course, but of course, you know, she's a singer, right?
Why did you pick up, by the way, for her to be the vocalist on two of the tracks?
Mandy's incredible. Like, I've worked with Mandy so many times. The best person to be with in studio, and she'll give you exactly like what you're asking of her, you know. So it's just been unfortunate that she couldn't come to the show on Saturday because she was working on something else. But Mandy, you're just always gonna pick Mandy.
Yeah,
you know,
so
you're always gonna pick Mandy or Vina
on the tour.
I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but she's a singer.
Yeah,
so,
you know,
we gonna turn her.
But then also, what makes you think that she doesn't know how to do? You guys are scared of taking her on tour and her seeing you guys get naughty. Is that what's happening? Nisaban.
If there's one man, if there's one man that doesn't get naughty, it's Ginger Trill. Trust
Please,
me.
just speak on it.
Trust me.
Talk,
that Babo Muzi.
Speak on it.
Babo Muzi.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is Ginger Trill is the last man.
Okay. So Tacho Kangai. Okay. We get you now.
But with Mandy, I think look, we really wanted to package it as a rap tour.
Okay.
Right? We needed to because that's what we're fighting right now. You know, it's like people are always saying, well, it ain't a thing anymore, you know? And I really wanted to show people that rappers can come together, and rappers, we got egos, but like we can come together for a good cause.
Yeah.
And my OGs, remember, these are guys that were doing it way before me. For them to come in support of us right now, it's such a big moment. And I want to shine the spotlight on it being a rap thing, rap hip hop thing. Mandy can definitely come through, perform with us. But in terms of when we talk like headliners, I always wanted to be like the 5 Avengers, because that's like the Up in Smoke tour for me, you know, like I'm taking inspiration from like the old days, you know. It's like these fine MCs, like all the guys that I mentioned are really good rappers, and I really wanted to package it that way and take it to every hood possible, actually, you know. So it ain't a thing, man. Mandy's my favorite human being anyway, but like, yo, yeah, people you're right, she needs to come outside more. She needs to come outside more.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe this is us calling her out. Mandy, you gotta come outside so the guys can put you on. Okay?
Mandy's like one of those characters, like she likes being in studio. And she wants to perform at church, so I don't know why she gets nervous sometimes. But like, you know, she likes being in studio.
Church and the club are two different things.
It is two different things, you know.
Yeah.
And Mandy's a church girl, you know. So it's like
super fresh.
Now you wanna feed her to the wolves in the clubs.
You're putting her on your album. She must be out there. If she wants to be an artist, she must be out there.
She's definitely out there.
Understand?
She's definitely out there.
Ahmed, okay, so give us more dates or anything else that people can kind of look forward to for the rest of December. Whether you guys are going to be dropping music videos in the next year. What else can we look forward to with regards to Boyz n the Hood?
Okay, definitely the tour. And the tour dates, like I said, we did Artistry. We're doing this weekend, which is 25th of November. We're doing Boyz n the Hood, the second leg, right? Yeah. And that's in Soweto. We're working on a few other venues right now, so we might have Mpumalanga and I think Forster in the next few weeks. But we're also talking to Durban. And we're also talking to Northwest. So we want to spread it as far as possible. Yeah. Another thing, the merch is out. It's a brand name, Trill and Touch.
Nice.
And yeah,
Touchline Truth.
Yeah.
TouchlineTruthStore.com.
Yeah.
Or is it TouchlineTruth.com?
TouchlineTruth.com.
TouchlineTruth.com. Get the merch. You know, it's fresh. It sells out like that. So
yes.
Yeah.
Shout outs. I love that. I love the support. I love the fact that people are behind you and they're riding with you. And continue supporting, man. And just shout outs to you guys for, you know, giving hip hop fans something to look forward to for the summer. Right. And like I said, we want more content, we want more videos, we want more. And the guys that they cut out of the EP, don't worry, you're back. I made sure.
Shout out.
Don't worry about it.
Shout
out. I'm gonna reload it. Don't worry.
Shout out.
I'm gonna make sure. I'm joking. Yo. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, gentlemen. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your time. And yeah, man, go out there and conquer.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
But thank you to you, Noni. I think you know, you deserve your flowers too, like in terms of what you've been doing for the rap game, you know, because you've been doing this hip hop thing, you know. Like I met you as like, yo, Noni from 5FM at the time, you know, and you were like, and you were never shy to really allow an artist that you didn't even know much about into your space and give a platform, you know. And here you are today again, giving me and my brother like another chance to be shown and seen by the world, you know. So we really appreciate you, and yeah, we need you still, you know.
Shout out. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Noy.
And thank you for watching. Make sure that you join us again next week, same time, same place, right here on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know exactly what you like, what you don't like, who you want to see, who you don't want to see, and of course, catch us again next week right here on POPradio.